Quick little editing question or how to I'm going to try to explain. Editing is something that I try not to do much of, but I kind of know how to do some things. So I was going to show a process today on how to go about changing basically the white balance or the color tone of a certain section of photos and stuff. So whenever doing photos like in mixed shade to light, there's usually a bit of a color difference, or sometimes you're just wanting to give a warmer ambience, but you don't want to turn skin tones orange and stuff. So I'm going to try to show you how to do that, or how I would do that. I'm using Capture One, and I'm almost positive Lightroom has all these same tools. They just may approach it in a different way. So that can be, if somebody has Lightroom and they want to go ahead and do this and put together a quick little video, I'd love to be able to throw that on the photographic critique guild. That would be pretty awesome to do, and I think people would really appreciate that. And I would not mind at all if anybody would share that on that group. I'll put a link to that in the bottom. That way you guys can find it pretty easily. Anyways, besides the point. Getting to this, we want to change the color of this green. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create an image layer. That way I can select it out. Another thing is like the mask. So now these editors have this AI stuff, and as you can see, as I'm hovering over this, that automatically selected all that grass and all that green. So these are doing a really good job. That's a little fuller there. And then we're gonna try to put this back here in. So quick and easy that way. All right, now another way is one globally. You can pick this color. So we're gonna go back here, and in my color editor I can go to, we have a basic, we also have an advanced and skin tone. Going into the advanced, you can use the color picker here and pick a color, and it kind of shows how much space of the greens and yellows it's covering. This sometimes can be really quick, but it also depends on how much color cast you have coming off. So if you're dealing with things, creating another layer to do this in can benefit, because that way you can erase it off of people or off of other things. So they wanted to, make a warmer color, and see, you can just kind of pull that down, maybe pull some saturation up. Voila. Pretty simple. And you adjust your darkness. So this, is sometimes a quick and dirty way to do that everything functions for it. And you'll notice this is other things like the moss up here falls in that. So when we click this on and off, you can see the difference of the blues and the yellows, kind of back and forth of that warm sky. In this situation, that was plenty to do that, to give that warmth to there. But let's go back to our layer and doing the same thing here. Now, since that's on there, I'm going to want to, since I've seen that in the other one, I'm going to make that green the same kind of doing. Probably pop some of these trees back here. And this AI stuff is neat, not perfect. Just going in and painting it with your regular brush will work as well. So don't, little things like the backgrounds and stuff, getting all those little details will help greatly. That way things don't just stand out as really oddball things. So anyways, let's take this off. And again, doing the same kind of editing is now we can just warm this layer up. Doing it this way, we have a little bit more control than just the the color saturation change. Now we can do that to this, absolutely. And we can, but now since we've isolated this off, we can warm that up. And I feel that we can start getting a little bit more of a natural look or more of a detailed look of what you want. Because you can, change the shadows in that layer. So you can bring this in a little differently than just the one. So you can start getting a little bit more depth. You can also, just like the other, adjust the saturation. Sometimes bringing the highlights down will give a little bit of difference on the reflections of things. I hope that makes sense. But you can make this, punchy and contrasty and stuff if you like, and just really make it crispy in a sense, but nobody wants crispy necessarily. So you can also do the opposite, bringing that contrast down, bringing, your clarity down, or your sharpening, or whatever tools you prefer to use. This then will in turn give you a different look, but you're just doing that one channel. Or that one, those sections that you've already picked up, not channel. I was thinking the color again, just that one color spectrum. But this is just doing the areas that you have adjusted. Pretty simple, pretty easy, but sometimes can get confusing on what to use where and how to do that. Like I said, you don't have to have the AI. If yours doesn't have that, you can literally, use a single source paint brush, adjust it how you want to see fit, and just hit it. And we can make that color pull into the sky if you wanted to. See the drastic difference there? Kind of ugly. Make sure to get rid of that. But then you can also now start picking and choosing things that you want to be, a certain way. Can give a little bit more depth than what you started with, or just a little bit more blending, making things feel a little bit more natural. I can do it before and after. Of course, this has a few other edits, but I mean, there's a pretty big difference. Now, this green tone in the sky, I don't necessarily like. Is that still from my editor up here? Nope. But anyways, I'm not going to go into too awful much. I can change that as well. So it's probably just warming the whole photo versus here. Yeah, I warmed the whole photo on it. But then by doing this, if I didn't want the sky that way, now I can bring this down or just take it back to shot. Now we have a better color match there, but still have that nice warm grass. So that gives you good kind of distinction, how much you can change those sections and leave the different colors. You have to be careful doing this because things start looking unnatural. This warm of a color to this cool of a color, just something's not quite right. And sometimes it's unsettling to people. Sometimes that's a good unsettling as well, that something's not right and I can't figure out what it is. And you sit there and stare at a picture for 30 minutes trying to figure it out. Anyways, that's long enough for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have Lightroom and you want to put one of these together and kind of go through, I would greatly appreciate it. I would like to add that to the Photographic Critique and Growth Guild. And check it out over there. Join in, have some fun.